Plaintiff Paul Garrett admits that he is eccentric and likes to collect things, so he has a lot of property in his home. Paul says he hired the defendants to clean his house, but they ended up damaging his property, so he's suing. Defendants Brian Smith and his wife Lauren say Paul was not just a collector, but a pack rat, and they felt uncomfortable cleaning his home because he often left pornos and sex toys out in the open. They're countersuing for unpaid wages.
Start with you.
I work in luxury retail across the world. Some of my friends will say that I'm eccentric. Some people will say that I'm left of center. The pride and joys of my life is I have 2 dogs and a cat. I brought pictures of them. This is Tyler in an 18-karat yellow gold gemstone collar.
Why do they say you're eccentric?
How many dogs have an 18-karat yellow gold collar in diamond and gemstones? This is my other child, which is a schnauzer, which has a Persian lamb jacket, which was custom made in Washington, D.C. I also brought
put these away. Don't take a picture of these. My dogs might be watching. And they think they're going to get them a gold-plated necklace. And I have a little miniature schnauzer, same color.
Okay.
His name is Sammy.
We could be related.
Then I have the black one. They don't wear gold, Doc.
Well, they're the love and joy of my life. They also
so are mine.
Go to my mother's house. She comes by every afternoon at about 4 o'clock to pick them up, to take them to her house to watch Wheel of Fortune and have dinner together. I don't know if it's good for them or good for me, but the dogs seem to enjoy it. I also collect very unusual things, one of a kind, a lot of times limited number of things. So I brought some pictures of the house so you would kind of have an understanding of what it is and why I definitely need to have some assistance.
The weirdest thing I do is leave the television on for them when I leave, because if not, they'll get mad. They'll bark and tear up the room.
They like your show?
Yeah, that's a good point. They're probably trying to watch my show. I never thought of that. You all right. They want to see Daddy's show.
Through the things that they have, they also have a crystal Waterford bowl they drink out of every day.
I told you to stop saying all that, particularly now that you say they watch my show. They hear all this, I'm really in trouble. All right, let me hear from you all.
All right, just give you a background on us. We got married young. I was an alcoholic, in and out of jail on a regular basis.
What age did you begin abusing alcohol?
16, 17, on a regular basis.
What did you go to jail for? What were you in jail for?
I had a DUI. I had disorderly conduct, maybe get into a fight or something like that. And
is that what happened to his martini glass?
No, Your Honor.
You were drunk that day?
No, I've actually been sober for almost 4 years.
Good.
In October. I was in jail and we found out we were pregnant, and she sent me ultrasound pictures of our first child, Ava. Completely. I looked at everybody else in jail and they were all in there for drugs, alcohol, or not paying child support. And I just knew that I'm done, and so I got out of jail, went and got my GED, got a full-time job. We moved into our own apartment and decided that we wanted a better life for us, for our kids, so we were going to start our own business.
Good.
So we went around passing out flyers, and he was one of our first customers.
Plaintiff Paul Garrett hired the defendants to clean his home, and they said Paul often had pornos and sex toys out in the open.
Sir?
Last summer, I had a pamphlet on my mailbox that said a house cleaner, cleaning, those kind of things. And I called them, and it was Laura and Brian. So I had them come over and do an interview, which I thought they were a very lovely couple, very kind, loving. And on one of their first visits, I even gave their daughter a porcelain pink polka-dotted piggy bank, just as a welcoming to my home and a thank you for coming to assist in my life. Everything I thought was going fine. I came home in February of 2011 and had a note from Lauren saying that she had broken a martini glass. And she was very sorry, and she would try to reimburse me for that or whatever. And it was a set made by Michael Weems from the Tommy Bahama shop that were costing $75. And I said, let me try to find one on eBay or Craigslist. And I went through my summer trying to do that. Well, I never asked for anything. They never offered anything. It was just kind of an ongoing thing with me. So in June, I was on vacation, and I asked if they were coming, when they were coming, and they said that they didn't think they could no longer offer me their services, which I said that was fine. I would like to have a check for $75 for the martini glass. I'd like to have $180 for refinishing the tea cart. And then I would like to have a copy or a repayment for the locks that had to be changed. And there's a receipt.
See it, please.
And there's the scratches and things that had the tea cart had to be refinished.
Okay. And did they agree to pay?
A few days later, I got an email saying, we're not going to repay the $75. We're going to charge that as $25 for each time we could not get in, for either the keypad to the garage not working, the door being locked, or the storm door locked.
Had you all discussed that previously?
Never once.
This is the first time you heard of it. Is when you asked for your money.
For my money. I sent an email on June the 26th stating that you're messing with the wrong person. I don't play games. I will file a small claims court against you. And here we are.
All right. Let me hear from you all.
Right away going into the house, we knew things were kind of strange.
Like what?
Well, he told us a story about moving from a 10,000 square foot house into a 2,000 square foot house. And it kind of looked like he didn't get rid of anything. Like it was all moved into that house. So everything was just a little cluttered, and to try and clean something, you would touch other things while you're trying to clean one thing. Like you couldn't touch anything without touching something else. So right away, things were strange. As we started working for him longer and longer, things got even weirder. We had sex toys, pornos that were just left out in the open, you know, and we're a Christian family.
Excuse me, were you at my house?
Yes, sir. Oh, yes.
I must check with my mother.
Your mother lives with you?
No, she doesn't, but I don't know where these toys and things came from.
That just made us feel a little uncomfortable. We didn't know if we were supposed to clean them or dust them or what.
So what did you decide to do?
We decided to not touch them.
All right, not to touch them. Okay.
And then this is where the issue came, where the martini glass got broken. It was a complete accident, and we apologized. And we have several emails back and forth between us that discusses the martini glasses. And we also have emails where he cancels on us on a regular basis.
How much do you want for this?
$180 to have it refinished.
Yeah. What do you say to that?
Well, in his email, he said, I think I can do some touch-ups on the cart. So
Right.
to me, that means he would go get, you know, either like a stain pen or something, because there was just a little surface
Yeah,
scratch.
and still he wants you to pay.
Yes.
So what's your defense to not paying for it?
Nothing was ever said back to us about the martini glass or the cart. We had continued to work for him for another 4.5 months. He left the check. He paid us. He never asked for money. He never stated that he wanted us to take care of it until we told him we couldn't provide him with our services anymore.
You all never agreed, and he never requested
No.
payment.
Right.
Right.
And he
Sir, you
never
never
withheld money
requested
from
payment?
that check.
There's some emails that
Read the email where you requested payment.
I may not have that. I have said to them that I was trying to find.
What
Michael
emails
Lane's.
are you referring to when you said there are some emails?
They knew that I was
Do you
trying
have
to find.
anything where it discusses payment for the martini glass and the...
No, Your Honor. All we have is the discussion that we had back and forth when it happened.
Let's see it. But so he did raise the issue with you guys.
Well, we emailed him
I am
first.
very sorry. We'll never intentionally break anything. I look as if he was scratched badly when you were trying to clean up. The glasses came from the Tommy Bahama store in Maui. I have been looking on eBay. This is very clear that he's asking for you to pay for it, sir. You're talking about he never mentioned anything. He's very clear about mentioning it. He's telling you how much it costs, where he got it. He's been trying to get an estimate or find a replacement. That's not true, sir. I don't know what type of church you're going to, but you're not being honest, and your pastor needs to take you in the back.
Well,
No, man, I better say that differently. Your pastor needs to chastise you. Put it that way.
Plaintiff Paul Garrett hired the defendants to clean his home, and they said Paul often had pornos and sex toys out in the open.
What do you have there?
Well, it took me about 15 seconds to find the martini glasses on eBay.
All right, but you said he never mentioned it to you, sir. So
Right,
now
so-
you're saying he mentioned it to you so much so that you even looked up
Yeah.
the price and the availability. Well, a minute ago you say he never mentioned it. His counterclaim, $455 for unpaid wages.
Yes.
How does he owe you for that?
We have all these emails where he canceled on us short notice. Short notice,
3 days
if not notice.
How many days and how much notice?
We worked on Friday. We would show up here. I tried to get into your house today. The garage keypad didn't work on Friday. No notice. We couldn't get into the house.
Can you guys work me in? I don't know if that addresses the allegations you couldn't get in. Sir, why didn't you respond to them not getting in?
I went ahead and went back and changed the batteries, pushed the alarm, pushed the numbers, and it works.
You had to change the batteries, though.
But
So that means it wasn't working to get them in. How much were they getting a day?
What?
How much were they? How much were you?
$65.
$65. And that's one day so far. You have any evidence of other days?
Here's the one that says, I couldn't get in his door because his screen door was locked.
And what was his response?
When do you want to reschedule? I didn't think about the door.
Good enough. Another 65. Give me another day.
I believe that's all as far as not being
All
able
right.
to enter the home.
$130 I'm going to grant you for the wages you all were prohibited from earning from him or from anyone else because you didn't have notice in a timely manner. I am going to grant you your $398, sir. They admit to having damaged the property. At first, however, sir, you act like he had never contacted you about it. We never heard from him. He never made mention of it until we quit. Well, that's not true. I see now that not only did he make mention of it, he emailed you and told you the amount, where he was trying to find it, where it was made, and then you on your own also went and looked it up. So you were dishonest with me on that at the very least. You look like good Christian. You might take a drink time you leave here, so I'm not sure.
No,
$398 minus $130 is what?
$268.
$268. All right, and that's your net judgment, sir. Have a good day.
The porn. They were just on the computer screen when we walk in. They're just right there.
That's something new to me. I also, when they say they couldn't get in, could they really not get in? I've tried the batteries. I've changed the batteries. A lot of times in garage door openers, you may have to try it twice.
Yeah, we emailed you and told you we tried to get in 8 times.